Hey, what's going on, guys? We are back from a pretty long hiatus. You know what's been going on, so we don't even got to get into it. But yeah, we are here today to talk about the brand new Sideshow Hawkgirl from the DC lineup. The Hawkgirl premium format. We have the exclusive right here in hand in the house. So we're really excited to be back with you guys and to be discussing Hawkgirl. Stay tuned. All right, guys, thanks again for joining us. We are doing just a review today of the brand new Sideshow premium format exclusive Hawkgirl. And this is part of Latrice's collection. This is one of the very few DC characters that we've ever reviewed. Yeah. And, you know, to me, this is a very new character. Latrice has always been one of my friends that's been a little bit more into DC than I kind of have ever been, other than like the very stereotypical like Batman fan kind of thing. So Latrice says, like, since let me borrow like the really good early 2000s Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, is that what that was called? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the second one as well from the 2000s era. So I got some exposure of Hawkgirl through that, and she was definitely one of my favorites watching the series. Walked away really being a fan of a lot of new characters from that show. So yeah, nonetheless, like, I'm excited to see this, and God, what a beautiful piece. I mean, like the dynamic pose, the ingenuity that's employed here to kind of create motion and flight, and these wings, wow, are just like epic. So, I mean, even if you didn't even know who this character was, there's so much to already love about it. Like, just, you know, looking at it from a artistry and statue standpoint. But I want Latrice to kind of like share a little bit about her statue, this character, why she got Hawkgirl, or why she's a fan. And yeah, so take it away, Latrice.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna preface this with a little disclaimer. Everything that I know about Hawkgirl is basically coming from the Justice League cartoon. But I mean, similar to the reasons why I love Rogue, is just she's just a badass woman superhero. You know, she doesn't take crap from anyone. She uses her nth metal mace to just kind of kick butt all the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's awesome. I love her. And I love the statue. I think that it just embodies everything of this character. Just strength and yeah.
Yeah, and I think like watching this series again, like not knowing anything about her. I mean, I knew Wonder Woman, I knew Superman and Batman, and the Flash for the most part, right? Like, not a ton, but like I knew those characters. But everyone else that was on the Justice League in that like show was all pretty much new to me, and so Hawkgirl definitely became one of my favorites right away. And she's like extremely formidable. Like, I was already going in expecting like Wonder Woman, of course, to go be the big badass, like especially on the female front line. But like Hawkgirl really swoops in there like quite a bit.
Yeah, she holds her own for sure.
100%. I was totally having like a lot of Thor vibes, like in my kind of Marvel corner and kind of Marvel fanboy kind of perspective there, where she kind of like carries her own like in that same kind of respect as Thor. And so you got the flight, you got the, you know, mace that has a lot of different powers, just like Mjolnir does, and yeah, so I mean, and Thor, if anyone knows me, is one of my favorite Avengers, you know, right, I guess before Captain America, but yeah, so I think like, you know, Hawkgirl walked away kind of being, or I walked away from Justice League with Hawkgirl being like the big surprise, like kind of star for me in the series, so I really liked it. Yeah, so let's kind of go into the actual like statue review itself. Like, I always, of course, love to start with the base. So Latrice, like, what are we seeing in this base?
So with this base, it's more of like, you see the head of the Egyptian kind of statue of Osiris is who it would be. I think it's really cool. I mean, there's nothing, it's all one color, you know, it's not anything like super crazy, which is fine because her pose and everything else is just really kind of what I think the focus is on.
Yeah.
So I think it looks really cool. I like it.
It's very solid too, I must say.
It's pretty. If anything, the heaviest part of this statue is the base.
Yeah, it's very solid. It's very well built.
Yeah.
When you pick it up, you can definitely feel the,
the weight.
Yeah, the weight of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Osiris head as well too. I mean, that definitely comes into play for her character as well too. A lot of reincarnation, a lot of Egyptian lore and mythology kind of really tied into her character. So, I mean, a great base to kind of quickly, subtly kind of capsulate that, I guess, kind of capture that. So, yeah, what else, Latrice?
And about the base or just in general?
In general.
I actually really like how the treads on her shoes, you can see her emblem in the shoes
dude, I didn't even
on the
notice that.
heel.
You're right.
It's like the hawk emblem there.
Yeah. Dude, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that actually.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I mean, the boots themselves are just very detailed and the colors.
Yeah. And I mean, what a really great way, like, again, ingenuity wise, to really hide, even though, like, you can see that it's touching, like, by all angles, as you start to spin it, you really lose through the perspective of kind of that forced perspective.
It just
you lose
kind
the
of looks
contact.
like she's taking flight and just flying past.
100%. I mean, that's a really great pose, really dynamic, a lot of motion.
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me, like, again, of some of the ingenuity that they've employed with, like, Gambit, with Rogue, with, like, X-23. There's, like, a couple of them that they've really gotten some really great, Thor as well, Breaker of Brimstone. They've gotten some really great, like, leaping and flight motion, like, kind of, versus, like, Magneto, of course, has levitation, and that's a little bit of a different thing here than, like, kind of the leaping aspect. But, yeah, they've really mastered that. I feel like they got a really good...
Yeah, dude, she looks... I love that she's flying, because, I mean, she has the wings, so how else would you show her?
Dude, let's talk about those wings for a little bit, Latrice. Dude, those wings are epic.
Yeah, I mean, they're very light, obviously, so that it's not,
Yeah, thankfully so, right?
Like that.
Absolutely.
These kind of have a little bit of movement to them, but you're not really supposed to move them. But anyways, the detail on the wings is really, really great.
Yeah, they really, like, the texture.
They look so good.
It looks like feathers.
Yeah.
It's really wild.
I am very happy.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, like, I don't know, as a kid, like, wings were always one of my favorite things. Like, the idea of flight was always one of my favorite things, but just wings in general, I always thought were really, really cool, just really beautiful and majestic. And I mean, this, for some reason, just kind of hits that nostalgic kind of chord, that it just looks like, it reminds me of Angel from, from the X-Men, and stuff, like, just something that is so beautiful and majestic and really just captures the eye, quite a bit. And they could have really shied away from them too. I mean, we could have really gotten a museum pose here with the wings kind of folded back and, a totally different concept. But instead we have this, like, zero gravity Hawkgirl that has no feet on the ground whatsoever, through expert, like, force perception and, like, these rocks that are built up here. You really just see the motion kind of happening as she's, like, gaining flight. And then you have this, like, massive wingspan that could have been really hard to achieve as well too, but it's just like it all works together so perfectly well that, I mean, they really leveraged the character and the motion and the excitement of her powers and how it all works to create something really special here, I think.
Yeah.
I love the hair. I mean, the portrait's epic. The suit, I mean, the paint app is just
the paint app is great.
too.
I mean, with the shading around, the musculature on her body is really great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you
she
can
looks
totally see her
strong.
power. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you don't want to get hit with that mace.
I mean, even without all of its powers and everything, like you said, I mean, this woman swinging that looks like she can do damage, like, alone.
For sure.
What about the masked portrait, Latrice? Like, what are the highlights for you?
I mean, it's the rage portrait. Like, you know that she's really about to let someone have it.
Yeah.
You can almost hear her yelling as she's getting ready to attack. I mean, I think it's great.
Yeah,
the hair is just, I love it.
The motion on the hair is epic.
Yeah,
Man.
I love everything about it.
I really love the detailing on the side of the mask too. You got a lot of the feathering kind of happening there as well too. Yeah, it's really sharp. Remind me, Latrice, is this the classic edition? This portrait, right? Or is it the unmasked?
So this is the collector's edition here.
Okay.
The unmasked is the exclusive.
Is the exclusive portrait?
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't remember which way it went. All right. One thing I like, again, like I have to point out right away too, is like looking at kind of her, what are these called again? Gauntlets. Thank you. I'm sorry, like goofus, but these gauntlet pieces right here are so well done too. Different, trying to get some focus going on there. Some different colorations as well. So yeah, there you go. So you can see kind of like the copper, the buckles, the gauntlet as well too has that metal texturing. There's some like actual weathering and cracking like in it. Just a lot of little tiny details in there that really add a lot to this character and its powers, her powers. So just some things that instantly captured my eyes. I love her logo on her belt as well too. Expertly done. All the little pouches as well. I mean, the sculpt on this, and again, of course, the paint app, like all of them working together to create something really great here. It's really well done.
Yes.
All right. Anything else we want to discuss before we swap the portrait? Go exclusive.
No, I think we're ready.
We're ready. Go for it, Latrice. So remind us Hawkgirl's name, Latrice?
Shayera Hall.
Shayera
Hall.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm new to this this table. All right, so we got the unmasked portrait here as the exclusive, and again, like what a great portrait. So much. Let me get some more focus here. I don't want my camera is having trouble focusing, but I think maybe low lighting.
Sideshow's just been killing it with the portraits, in my opinion.
Yeah, the portraits have been really strong
so far.
Dude, look at that, like hair flow too. Wow. Yeah, I mean, gosh, this is like a hard one to choose between, honestly. This would be one that I would be swapping quite a bit. But, so Latrice, does she often take off her mask? I know you brought up the point that, like, it's something that she doesn't do often, right?
No. I mean, like I said, all I know is from
the show, right?
But as far as I know, she stopped wearing the mask after there was some sort of incident where she... not necessarily like betrayed the Justice League, but she kind of betrayed the Justice League, and they kind of kicked her out, and she stopped wearing the mask in the cartoon. That's as far as I know.
And that's in the Unlimited
that's
era,
right?
The okay, one. I remember this.
But I mean, as far as I know, I think that the mask is pretty much a staple for her. But I really like that they included it as the exclusive.
I do too.
I think it's great.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I know there was a lot of controversy for this, right, Latrice? Like this portrait.
Yeah, I mean, it's the eyeliner's pretty thick in comparison to the prototype. But I mean, my main concern, as with most of the statues that Sideshow usually does with that kind of like sideways gaze, is the googly eye. Right. I do not have the googly eye on this, so
not at all.
I am totally okay with it. I think it looks really great. I have no problems with it at all.
And the eyeliner to me looks just spot on. Like I don't see any problem whatsoever, especially considering she's going to be coming off of like pulling a mask off. Like of course she's going to have some eyeliner on her eyes.
So I love it. This is going to be one that I'm for sure going to switch out.
The hairline is epic too. Yeah. I mean, they really did a great job on that hairline as well. Yeah. I mean, also too, let's kind of talk about the neck seam as well too. Mm-hmm. They've really gotten expertly like kind of done or creative, I guess I should say.
Yeah,
like
hiding the seams on
hiding
this
the
one.
seams on the necks, right? Like
Yeah.
really great. I mean, this is reminding me of Elektra. You know, a couple of the others where they're using the collars of the costumes and stuff to really hide that seam line, and you really can't tell where there's a connection point, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, with this statue in particular, like if you didn't know what pieces came off, you wouldn't really be able to see.
You're right. I mean, all the
because I mean,
seams.
the arms come off at the gauntlets here.
Yeah, and you can't see that at all.
I mean, you can't see it.
I mean,
unless
I
you're
would
really looking.
I could guess that maybe it might be either the wrist area or that area or something, you know, but I couldn't like tell you unless I saw you put it together.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there is a touch of a seam here, but that's kind of, and I mean it's a little.
I can't see it.
A little bit, but
yeah,
I mean, you can't really tell.
not at all. I mean, this is great. Really great statue. The wing seam lines as well, expertly done.
They're coming out of her back, so of course there's going to be
absolutely.
Of course, there's going to be something.
And her musculature on her back is really great too. Her
The
shoulders
sculpt
and
is
stuff.
really, really, really great.
Yeah, that's a great statue.
Dude, she looks.
All right, is there
she
anything?
looks awesome.
Anything else that we missed, Latrice, that you want to add before we wrap this up?
So. I was always telling you, the second they announce a Hawkgirl statue,
Yep,
that's a
right.
day one pre-order for me.
You manifested this.
She's not a, you know, I mean, I guess like a tier 1 character, obviously, for like Superman, Wonder Woman.
Right.
Like those.
I
But
agree.
I mean, I still think she's a strong character. I'm very, very happy that, you know, Sideshow decided to go with her.
Yeah.
And I hope that they do more of like the secondary characters. Like, I hope that there's a Martian Manhunter. I hope that there's, you know, I can't wait to pair her with the Green Lantern eventually. Like,
Dude.
I think they'll look, I mean, I've seen pictures of them together.
Martian
but they'll
Manhunter, man.
A Martian Manhunter would be great.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they can do so many other characters, not just, you know, the Trinity, and
Yeah, over and over again.
Still have happy people. So.
Yeah. I mean, these were like, I mean, maybe that, like you're saying, like they're not like forefrontal characters in the DC universe, but as far as those shows go, I mean, Hawkgirl and Martian Manhunter, to me at least, were highlights of that entire series. So, I mean, I think it's time, and hopefully this is like the first step of that.
Yeah.
To your point, and so, you know, who knows?
One can only hope.
One can only hope.
Please, if you're watching.
Yeah. And, you know, if this is any indicator of what you could do with that, I mean, a Martian Manhunter as well would just be epic.
I
Like,
think it would be great.
Yeah, go full ham, Sideshow.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much again for joining us after such a long hiatus. And please leave us a comment on what you think about Hawkgirl. And, you know, the kind of the ideas that we're throwing out for the rest of the the DC Justice League. Hopefully we see a comment and a like from you guys. Subscribe as well, because there are a couple of things, lots of delays, but a couple of things coming down the line. So
Gambit coming soon.
Gambit coming really soon for Latrice's collection there, her X-Men collection. I cannot wait to see that next to the brand new Rogue premium format as well. I mean, it's going to be insane. So yeah, definitely stick around, guys, and hopefully you join us again real soon. Talk to you later.